welcome, folks. This is Dr. Azzuddin Hawam, the founder of Sada Echoes. Today on Bounded Stories, we're sitting with the idea of home, not just as a place on a map, but as something we carry on our bodies, our memories, and our daily rituals. For those who move across borders, home often travels with us through stories, language, food, and longing. Today, through the Unbounded Stories series, we're honored to share some of those stories with you. This session is a session dear to my heart, especially because it is our first session that we will hold in Arabic and in English, welcoming stories to sit with us in their fullness, just as they were born into the world. So we ask, what does home mean to you? And how do we carry home when we are afar? And how do we keep longing and recording our homelands wherever life takes us? So, to answer these questions, we will begin with our friend Majdolin Ashour, a medical student living and studying in Turkey, and later Solimna Abuhasanein, a maritime archaeology student living in Egypt. Majdolin will answer and engage with us in English, and Salman will engage with us in Arabic. Together, we will reflect on how home lives within us, even as our journeys unfold elsewhere. So, welcome to both of you. Ahlan wa sahlan.
For having me.
حياك.
So, we'll start with Majdolin. Majdolin, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Unbounded Story series. Could you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Once again, thank you so much for having me on the series. My name is Majdolin Ashour. I am 20 years old. I was born in the Netherlands. I have a Moroccan mom and a Palestinian dad. And now I live in Turkey and I study here. So to start with, we already hear like a lot of cultures and a lot of different places. And I feel like that's how I could identify myself. I am a very like international spread person. Also, like the Netherlands is known for having a lot of different cultures and having a bit of a melting pot. So also growing up there, we grew up in a very like multicultural environment. So yeah, that's how I approach everything in daily life, honestly. And yeah, I'm very excited to talk about my story here.
Thank you, Majdolin, and it's an honor to sit with you today. And we are centering stories here as the glue, as the bond that brings us all together. So, when you think of home and you have multiple homes, what is the first story, image, or feeling that comes to mind? And how does it show up in your everyday life?
I would say for me, exactly like you said, I have a lot of homes, and as a child of the diaspora, it's also hard to find yourself in a place and to call a place home. So for me, I've always been carrying that feeling around of like having my home on my back, like a snail kind of image. You could image it as that. Um, Basically, I feel very attached to my Palestinian side, but I do also feel attached to my Moroccan side, and I've also like recently noticed that I've also been very attached to my Dutch side because of course I've been born there and I've grown up there, and when I came here I found out that things are very different here. It's not the same as back home in the Netherlands. But for me, for example, I would give you an example how I carry Palestine with me every day because I feel like that's the most important um, country in my like mix of identities. Because of of course, our difficulties and the colonization we have to face and we have to survive. Also, as a child in the diaspora, it is also our struggle, and it is our case. It's our Palestinian cause. So the way I try to carry that around, I always every day wear my kufiya everywhere I go, whether it's hot or cold or whatever. I always wear my kufiya. This it has been like that for many years because It is just a way of expressing my identity and a way of carrying myself around, a way of carrying my home, Palestine, around. I also have this, I don't know if you can see it, this necklace of the Palestinian map. I wear it every day. I never take it off. Um, which is also for me a part of carrying Palestine around. Um, but I can give you a story of one time we just moved houses and we used to live in an apartment and we moved to like a bigger house with a backyard. And when I found out that in the backyard we have a grape tree, we didn't know that. When summer came around, we saw that the grape leaves, they grew like very big and very soft. So I would check on them every single day. I would check on the grape leaves every single day just till they were soft enough to pluck. And once they were soft enough to pluck, I plucked them. I wore my Palestinian thobe, the one that we wear inside of the house, not outside, because we have different ones, of course. But I wore my Palestinian traditional dress. I tied my hair in like a headscarf, and I started plucking. And then my dad came home and he saw me plucking, and he was like, "You're literally like the spitting image of my mom right now." And he was like, like, Subhanallah, I didn't know that people could like, even if you were not born there and you've never seen this ritual happening, you could still like carry it around you and do it the way everyone does it around this time in Palestine. So I was plucking the grape leaves and then I went back in, I washed them and I put them in hot water and I stuffed them eventually. And we ate them because it's the traditional way of doing the Palestinian stuffed grape leaves, of course. So that's something that really shows like the way I carry myself and the way I carry my Palestinian identity around.
Wow, Majdolin, this is a beautiful story, and I can attest to that. I mean, you our bodies naturally start to do things that our ancestors have done, and we are the echoes of their stories. You talked about this beautiful notion of carrying my home on my back. That's a heavy load. That's a heavy thing to carry, especially in your case, Majdalene, sometimes being in the Netherlands, sometimes being in Turkey, going back and forth. How do you then carry that homeland? What helps you carry it? So you talked about your kufiya being that home that wraps you, or you wrap yourself within. But when you carry that home, what are the things that you do to help you carry that home, even if they are small things?
I would say, like I already previously said, I do not attach home to a certain place. Home for me is my identity and the way I carry it around. The way I do it, honestly, it comes so natural to me. Like I do not think about, oh, how am I gonna carry my home? It's just something that happens. It's just natural. But for example, um, wherever I go, I would always tell everyone that I'm Palestinian and that my mom is Moroccan. I would give them the whole story instead of just asking where are you from and giving them one answer. I give them the whole answer just so that they get like an idea of what I feel as home. Um, and of course, like I don't know if I can show you, but I have like a lot of Palestinian decor in my house. For example, I recently got this from my friend. It's a globe of Al-Quds. Um, and I just try to like fit that image wherever I go to see Palestine in front of me, even if I've been there once only, and I don't know if I am able to go there now. Um, but I always try to carry that sense of Palestine and of home with me wherever I go. What helps me with that is that I'm not stuck to a place that I can call my home or that I can call or that I can like identify myself with. Because home to me, I've never been home to be like, to be like, yeah, that's my homeland. I've never been there for it to call it my home. For people that go there, for example, every single year it's different. Or people that grew up there or were born there even, it's different. For me, I like it's weird, not weird. It's just a bit strange that I have this much of a connection with the land that I've never even touched or seen with my own hands. So for me, that's something that gives me like more power and more motivation to carry it around me wherever I go, and to carry the story of my ancestors around me wherever I go.
Thank you, Majdolin. And we, as Palestinians, say we carry a home, and the home lives within us no matter where we are. We've talked about your parents earlier before the call. Your parents are also in the Netherlands. How do they, maybe a question just to bring it to a closing here. How do they carry home, being also away from their home, multiple homes in your household? If you had to share a story or a thing, what would it be?
For example, for my dad, I know he loves cooking and he loves cooking Palestinian food. And we all know, like, Palestinians, they don't cook for two or three people, they cook for everyone. So my dad also, he really enjoys like inviting people from other cultures because I told you earlier, we have a lot of multicultural people. Um, he likes inviting people from other cultures to taste our food and to meet our culture the way it's supposed to be and not the way the news portrays it. Um, we are more than suffering people. Of course, we are suffering, and of course, we have to mention that wherever we go. But we also have our rich culture and our rich heritage and our traditions, which is also very important to share. But I know for a fact that my dad, he really loves to cook, and I really love his cooking. So whenever I go back home, I just know my dad is ready with like a pan of magluba, and he's gonna flip it as soon as I step in the house. I know
That's
for a
beautiful.
fact.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Majdaleen. Thank you for walking with us, and thank you for bringing us into your stories and into your home. And inshallah, one day we house you and we host you in Nablus and we feed you maklouba and kinafa. Thank you for being with us. Let's switch to سلمان. سلمان أهلا وسهلا فيك، يعطيك العافية،
يا
يسعد صباحك.
يسعد كل
آه،
حياتك.
احنا جد مبسوطين انك معنا، يعني انك انت معنا من مصر اليوم. يعني اشي احنا كثير مبسوطين فيه، فاهلا وسهلا فيك.
حياك الله.
سلمان، احنا بدنا نحكي وبإن انا وياك بندردش عن موضوع الوطن، فكرة الوطن، مش بس كمكان على الخريطة، بس كإشي بنحمله في أجسادنا، ذاكرتنا، طقوسنا اليومية، في حياتنا، في دمنا. فأنت قصتك قصة كمان عابرة للحدود، فأنا بدي أفهمها أكثر. ففي البداية لو سمحت عرفنا عن حالك شوي.
سليمان محمد أبو حسنين، من غزة، مواليد سنة 2000 في غزة مع الانتفاضة تقريبا. درست تاريخ وآثار في الجامعة الإسلامية في غزة برضو. وفي فترة الدراسة يعتبر اشتغلت على الساحل الغزاوي كله، الشط، بحر غزة من الشمال للجنوب، بمشاريع وشغل. فبحرنا يعني أنا لفيته من شماله لجنوبه زي ما بيحكوها. وبس حاليا بدرس في مصر ماستر الآثار البحرية في جامعة الإسكندرية. بس.
أهلا وسهلا فيك سلمان كمان مرة. سلمان، عشان بس نحط الأمور للمشاهد يفهمها، أنت مش بعيد عن غزة.
لا خالص.
أعطينا فكرة.
بحر الإسكندرية زي ما بتعرف هو على الساحل الغزاوي، يعني ملاصق لبحر غزة يعتبر. فهو بيبعد أقل من 400 كيلو حرفيا، ما يعادل 3 ساعات مثلا في السيارة و4 ساعات بالكثير.
نعم.
ف أنا بصراحة بروح على الإسكندرية بقعد بس عشان أطلع على البحر وأتذكر إنه البحر المتوسط الأبيض بذكرني في غزة، فشكل البحر في الإسكندرية فعلا بذكرني في غزة. عشان هيك أنا بحب أقعد قدام البحر لساعات طويلة وأتذكر أيام غزة وأيام بحر غزة بصراحة.
سلمان، يوم تعرفنا على بعض احنا كنا في مصر، وطبعا أول ما تعرفنا على بعض حنينا لبعض عشان الدم بحن. واليوم
وطبعا
أكيد. فإحنا يوم أسمعك تحكي عن البحر ووجودك في مصر، وبتروح على البحر عشان بس تحس في غزة وفي أهلك وتكون قريب من البحر. آه، طبعا بفكر في موضوع الحنين والانتماء. فسؤالنا اليوم بالنسبة لك طالب عايش بعيد عن أهله، والله يجمعك إن شاء الله فيهم عن قريب، بعيد عن
يا رب
وطنه
جميعا.
في مصر. موضوع الانتماء بالنسبة إلك كيف بتعرفه؟ وكيف تحمل وطنك معك في أي مكان بتروح عليه؟ كيف تاخذه معك على الجامعة؟ كيف تاخذه معك على كيف بتحكي عنه في مصر؟ كيف أنا بعرف إنه يوم التقينا أنت دائما كنت تحكي عن غزة، فحابين نفهم هذا الموضوع منك أكثر.
هو فعليا دكتور عز، غزة احنا طلعنا منها بس هي ابدا ما طلعت فينا منا ولا عمرها بتطلع منا. بس حابب اوضح شغلة، انه في غزة ما قبل الحرب اللي هي حرب اكتوبر، اعتقد كان كثير من الناس في غزة كان الوضع مثلا صعب من نواحي كثير، تضييق امني وحصار والكلام هذا. فالواحد ايش بيحس انه لا، انا هذا المكان سجن كبير احنا بدنا نطلع منه. بعد اكثر من 7 شهور ابادة في الحرب، والدمار اللي ما أظنش في حدا ما شافوش، يعني كل العالم شافته. وأنا بطلع من غزة زي كأنه روحي بتطلع معي. أنا بطلع من غزة والسيارة بتمشي من معبر رفح، ويعني هاي الحقيقة اللي في قلبي، إني بحس حرفيا إنه أنا طالع. تخيل، مع رغم الدمار ممكن الإعلام ما صوروش بالشكل الصحيح، يعني عقلك ما راح يستوعب الدمار، بس أنا بتخيل إني طالع من جنة الأرض ورايح لمكان غريب عني ما بعرف. ف للأسف كانت السيارة مشيت، لكن الواحد كان في نيته وبخاطره إنه يرجع تاني، بالرغم من دمارها، بالرغم من الإشي اللي ممكن عقلك ما يستوعب، وكمية الدمار والإبادة. الواحد كان بده يرجع يعني. الحمد لله في مصر يعني موجود في الجامعة. زملائي طبعا من كل الجنسيات. ما بتروحش عن البال سيرة الوطن، سيرة غزة، ذكرياتنا بغزة، بحرنا. أشياء كثير مشتركة بيننا وبين جيراننا طبعا. فغزة ما بتروح من البال يعني. أكلاتنا دائما بعزمهم، بعمل لهم أكلات مقلوبة، مسخن فلسطيني، بعزمهم على البيت. فحكيت لك الأول إحنا طلعنا من غزة، غزة ما طلعت منا.
شكرا سلمان. ف
الحمد لله.
طبعا هاي القصة طبعا احنا كفلسطينيين ما بنقدرش نحكي فيها من دون ما نتأثر، يعني نكون واقعيين، يعني ألمنا ألم واحد. يوم تفكر في مكان ولادتك، في غزة، في جيرانك، في الحي اللي عشت فيه يا سلمان، شو أول قصة أو صورة تيجي في بالك؟ إذا بتقدر تشاركنا فيها.
بس أتذكر بصراحة مكان، المكان اللي أنا طلعت منه، في الوقت الحالي عشان أكون صادق معك، ما بتذكرش غير ال7 شهور اللي عشتهم في الحرب حرفيا. وعشان أكون صادق،
نعم.
بتذكر كل الناس اللي كنت قريب منهم، وكنت بنام معهم حرفيا في تخت واحد. أحيانا كانت الظروف ما تسمح إنه يكون في تخت، كنا ننام على الأرض، كنا ننام في حاصل. أنت عارف شو يعني حاصل؟ أو عشان نفسح مجال لغيرنا في ظل النزوح على الأرض ممكن. وأنا بحكي لك إنه أكثر من 90% من هدول الأصدقاء والشباب الأقارب أيا كان، هالحين مش موجودين. فأكثر إشي بتذكره وما بيروح من بالي هدول الشباب، واللي أغلبهم من المواليد ما بعد الألفينات، من 2000 ل 2007. شباب صغير يعني. فقدناهم في هاي الإبادة وبطلوا موجودين معنا. أغلبهم كانوا طلاب جامعات طموحين، عندهم دراستهم، أطباء ومهندسين ومن كل التخصصات يعني. وأغلبهم مش موجودين هالحين، الله يرحمهم طبعا. بتذكر ما قبل الحرب برضو، بتذكر حارتي. انت عارف نظام الحارات، يمكن في فلسطين موجودة اكيد، اللي هي المخيمات، لانه احنا اولاد
نعم.
مخيمات. بتذكر الملعب الصغير اللي كان ورا المسجد اللي في حارتنا، كنا نلعب فيه. وبتذكر الأرض اللي كنا نسرق منها كلمنتينا ونجري من صاحب البيارة. بتذكر شباب الحارة وقعداتنا، دكان أبو محمد. يعني بتذكر هاي الأمور اللي هي في كل فلسطيني بيكون عارفها وفاهمها، وأنا بحكي معك مش محتاج أوضح كثير، بس الناس أكيد بدها تفهم كيف بتكون العلاقات والجيرة وهاي الأمور في عنا في البلد في المخيم يعني.
شكرا سلمان. أنت وصلتنا لفلسطين وسمحت لنا إن نكون جزء من قصتك في طريقة رائعة. شكرا لتأملك الصادق لمشاعرك الحقيقية. شكرا إنك سمحت لنا إن فعلا نفهم الوطن بطريقة أعمق ونعيش معك هاي اللحظات. حكك عن الجيران وعن الدكانة وعن عن الملعب وإلى آخره. كلنا كفلسطينيين اللي عاشوا في فلسطين عارفين هاي المفاهيم وعاشوها وبيحنوا لها. سلمان، آخر إشي بدي أسألك عنه، رمضان على الأبواب. طبعا احنا في
اه
رمضان، احنا اللي عايشين في الغربة دائما نحكي طبعا حكيت انا مع مجدلين في الموضوع هذا كمان. يعني دائما نتمنى انه نرمضن نكون في رمضان مع اهلنا في فلسطين او مع في لمة العيلة.
صحيح.
طبعا بيكون صعب علينا انه نعيش اجواء رمضان لحالنا او بعيدين عن اهلنا ووطننا. شو ممكن تنصح الناس اللي عايشين، الفلسطينيين اللي عايشين في الغربة بعيدين عن وطنهم وأوطانهم، خصوصا في شهر رمضان أو مواسم مثل رمضان اللي ممكن تكون صعبة وقاسية عليهم؟
والله بالنسبة للناس اللي عايشين في الغربة فعليا، أكتر نصيحة منطقية بالنسبة لهم يعني اللمة. طبعا لمتنا في بلادنا غير وفيش زيها، مستحيل يكون في زيها. وجمعتنا والزيارات تاعت رمضان. لكن اللمة بتهون طبعا كثير وبتخفف كثير. فهي اللمة يعني بصراحة اللمة في يعني ضيافتنا في بيوت بعض وزياراتنا لبعض ولمتنا مع بعض. هاي النصيحة اللي أنا ممكن أنصحها لحدا موجود في الغربة هالجيت يعني. وأكيد مش هتكون زي لمة غزة ولا لمة فلسطين، هذا أكيد، لكن يعني نص مصيبة.
شكرا سلمان ويعطيك العافية. وإن شاء الله مثل ما دائما بنحكي نجتمع مع بعض في فلسطين عن قريب، وناكل ونفطر مع بعض ونتغدى مع بعض ونكون مع بعض في الوطن.
الله. إن
مجدلين,
شاء
last
الله.
words for you and to you. What are the things you say to folks? How do you advise people to stay rooted in their stories? What what are the things that we Palestinians have mastered now to stay connected to our places, to our stories, to our homes, even though some of us have not seen those places?
I feel like for us it's such a natural thing and a natural way of living, a natural way of life. It's like we cannot live if we don't live the Palestinian way. You know what I mean? I feel like every Palestinian would understand it if I said it. Like it sounds a bit weird, but I think it's understandable for us Palestinians. The thing that really like gets a hold on me is that we see so much happening back home and we see so much struggle and so much um annihilation of our land and of our people and colonization happening in real time in real life, that we almost like carry a responsibility to be the most Palestinian you could ever be, just to say it a bit weird. Um, but it's a sense of responsibility of echoing those voices, and which is a very nice thing because we are doing that right as we're speaking right now. Echoing those voices that have gone through aggression and colonization and genocide. Echoing the voices that can't amplify themselves. We have to amplify it for them. So for me, it's a bit of a responsibility more than it is something that I think about doing. It's more of a something I have to do. I cannot live the way I like. I cannot live if I don't live the Palestinian way, like I said, because it's such a responsibility to make up for everything that we have lost. For example, my dad, he was born in Gaza, but we are not originally from Gaza. We are originally from a village. It's called Al-Hamama. Hamama, it's close to Asqalan and Asdod, close to those cities. Um, so it is a bit close to Gaza, but we are not rooted in Gaza.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And that's something also that we should never forget because I've never seen Hamama in my life, but I have seen Gaza once, and it was a privilege to see Gaza once. But it is just a sense of never forgetting your roots and never forgetting where you come from. And like I said, it's just a sense of responsibility to amplify those voices that cannot be heard.
Thank you, Majdolin and Salman. I do this work often, and I'm not, if I may, this episode is probably one of the closest to my heart. It's brought me back to my home, to my land. Behind me on this screen here, you see some of the Roman olive trees that I've sat under in the last visit to Palestine, and those trees have been there before time. I want to say shukran. Thank you, Majdalene and Salman, for being here, for trusting us with your stories. And we're grateful to listen and learn alongside you. And thank you for walking with us on Unbounded Stories series. Folks, thank you. This is Azadin Hawamde, founder of Sada Echoes. If you know people who have stories to share, please let us know. Sada is a platform born for those who wants to share their stories. Shukran, and we look forward to being with you.
إن شاء الله.
Thank you so
يعطيكم العافية.
much.